Hey, everybody, what's going on? It's your friend James Shaw. Thank you so much for choosing to be with us today to hang out. We're doing what we do, which is talk to elite people who are doing elite things. And I'm really excited today to hear this journey, this story and this journey of an agent who, man, she's out doing all the things, right? She's showing houses, she's closing deals, she's going to inspections, she's doing the lead gen, and she's building a very good business in a challenging market. And I think it's a story that will relate to a lot of you. So let's get right after it. Demetria Lynch, hello, how are you?
Hello, James. How are you?
I'm doing awesome. Hey, thanks so much for doing this. Would you tell us who you are and where you are and a little bit about your business?
Sure. So my name is Demetria Lynch. I am in Raleigh, North Carolina, servicing all of the triangle. So that's Raleigh, Durham, Chapel Hill, Wake Forest, Roseville, all of those surrounding areas. I have been in business. This August is going to be my 7-year anniversary. So just very excited. My background is in retail, did that for an extremely long time. And I loved it, but what I loved about it the most was the people and helping the people. And so now, instead of helping them find their weekend outfit, I'm helping them find houses. So it works.
Listen, if you can do retail, you can do this, right? The goal in retail, get them in a dressing room. If you get them in a dressing room, they're going to buy something. And it's the same sort of thing here. And you build a great system. When you started, because the way you started and the way you run the business right now are two totally different things.
Yes.
And you
Yes.
were starting in almost like it was a group paying for a bunch of leads. You had really high referral fees you had to pay. And that was working, but it wasn't working. Tell me about when you realized that you needed to do something different.
Well, the group that I was working with actually partnered with, I'm sure I can say the name, it's
You
Better
can say whatever
Mortgage.
you want, friend.
Okay, I was working with a Ohio group that's in Texas, and they partnered with Better Mortgage, which was a mortgage company at the time. And so when they got leads, they had referral partners all over the country, and I was the one for this area. And so I was getting those leads. It was fantastic. I mean, things were just pouring in. I went from my first year, 8 deals, second year, 16 deals, third year, 27 deals. So it was really, really good. But I was paying 60% for every one of those referrals. So even though I was doing a lot of business, I was not making a lot of money. Well, Better turned into a real estate company. And they stopped all of their referral partnerships with everyone. And it happened at the beginning of the year, and I was just floored, like it was just gone. And that's what I had done the whole time I had been in real estate. So I really had not spent a lot of time learning how to lead gen, learning how to really have dedicated time in my day to make those touches. And I was working so fast, just trying to keep up with everything they were sending me. So it was definitely a wake up. Like, oh my goodness, now I actually have to learn how to find my own business.
Well, the lesson in that is, sure, these things are great, and I'm not mad at anybody that's
Mm.
using a service like that. It's expensive, number one. It's a ton of work, number two, and it can be turned off at any moment. And so, if you're okay with the expense, then fine, go be it. If you're okay with the work effort that's required and the lower dollar per hour, that's cool too, as long as you're hitting your goals. But then you have to be aware that it can be turned off at any moment. And for you, it was turned off at any moment. So you had to pivot, as we like to say.
Right.
Now you have a ton of people in the database. So was that a natural thought that, all right, I just got to go start pouring into these people?
It was a natural thought. Of course, I spent a lot of time wallowing. Um, Unfortunately, I did. I didn't know what to do. I thought everything was over. I didn't really, I had been to classes and things like that, but I hadn't really taken those things seriously because of what was happening. So once I got off of that wallow train, it was like, okay, I do have a good amount of people in my database. I just really started digging into that. And of course, probably the biggest thing that happened to me was getting back on the pivot call every morning, like clockwork. There's no question I'm going to be on it. Even if I'm walking around in my pajamas, I'm going to be on it. And then the fall, I end up coming into Inspire, and that was just, that was game changer, because that helped me realize that you can't just do it. You have to have a system to it. And with a system, that's how it becomes consistent, because you don't have to worry or think about how to do it every day.
If you have a system to follow, you just wake up and follow it and you're in good shape. The pivot call, for those of you watching and like what you're talking about, we've been doing a morning mastermind call, 8 o'clock Eastern, literally every weekday morning since March 16 of 2020. I started this group in the pandemic so that, Demetria, so people like you would have a place to go, because the business can be isolating. We can get a little bit lost. You can get thrown for a loop, right? Everything could change all of a sudden. And now what do I do? So Pivot is a space to do that. It's free. Anybody can get on. You mentioned it specifically. In what way has being on that free 20-minute call each morning helped you?
The pivot call was my first piece. It was the first piece to the puzzle of consistency. So it was the first thing in this business so far that I was able to jump in and 100% commit to. And it happens every morning like clockwork. And that's what really started my journey into consistency. I did not have that. So I was winging it every day.
I love that. Demetria, what's great is it's 20 minutes and you don't have to actually do anything. It doesn't require any work on your part. Like you said, you could be in your PJs and just listen, or you can share. You've shared from time to time on there, and it's really up to you. But it's an easy, short thing to do. And sometimes when we want to move and create some momentum and get consistent in things that are going to move us forward, we need something easy. So I love that you mentioned that. But then ultimately you have to go to work. At the end of every call, I say, all right, you got your inspiration. Now go put in the perspiration. You put in the perspiration with your 2,138 contacts in your database and getting in a flow there. So tell us about what is your daily lead generation life look like?
So the vast majority of those, number one, are coming from open houses. Number two are coming from social media, because I do have my pillars set up. So like really breaking that down for last year and this year and figuring out exactly where my business was coming from. I really took time to sit down and figure out, other than the referral company, where else was I getting people? And so breaking down those pillars was really, really important as well. So
all right, so time out. I'm going to interrupt every once in a while because I always want to get clarity. Are you saying then that if people want to build a consistent business, they need to first have 2 or 3 or 4 pillars to know what are their sources going to be?
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. Because that's what keeps you from throwing things at the wall to see if they stick. That's what keeps you from being squirrely. I call it squirrely. Some people may call it something else, but I have the tendency to get squirrely. And it's like, ooh, I hear something and I'm like, ooh, let's run over here and see what this is. No, if it doesn't fit in my pillars, it's not for me.
Yeah. All right. So you've got your pillars, and then you're getting into a flow with your database. And what I'm hearing from you is you're finding systems that work and implementing them. You are a DTD2 person. Is that right?
Yes.
Like you follow that. So DTD2 is this, most of you watching this know, but it's a way to communicate with your database. It stands for Do the Database To. Steve Schluter and Tammy Youngst taught it to us. They're MAPS coaches. And basically the database is broken up by last name, and you have 2 letters every week by last name, and that way you can stay in a flow with them. So tell me about how you're following that, because I think a lot of people know what it is, but a lot of people are not following it.
Yes. Well, so I may do the DTD2 a little different from some people. Number one, my people that are in my DTD2 are mainly, I have focused in on a core VIP group. So my people that are in my DTD2 are my people that are past clients, my people that have raised their hand and have an interest in buying or selling, even if it's, some time from now. They are my family all over the country, because I can help anybody anywhere. They are my friends. They are my people that send me referrals. Those are the people that are on my DTD2 schedule, because they're the people that I know I can really have great conversations with.
Right, so calling 2,100 people is not going to work for you. How many are in the VIP group?
My VIP group has 3, I think it's 372 right now.
Okay. Yeah. So that's a doable group to do a quarterly call touch, but you do other touches too, right? This is a
Right.
full touch plan you do. Tell me about the touch plan.
So because in my database, I have my VIP group, I also have, circle prospecting around closed homes. So some of those people in my database, I only have addresses for, they get mailers, they get, their yearly CMA, they get things like that. Because I don't have all of their information and I'm just dripping on them in like a mail type way. But that core group is that really, really important group. And I have a whole system for them. I also have a group in my database that's just agents. And so I'm working on a newsletter for them to really start digging into them. They are on a quarterly call plan. They are also on a social media plan. So it just reminds me to go in and like and comment and feed off, have some sort of interaction with their socials, which in turn keeps my social, my FYP or my main page in Facebook, it keeps it so it's got those people in there. So I see things from them.
Yeah.
If you're not interacting with people, you won't see them on your scroll.
Yeah.
So that's
really
what I do with my agents.
You're really intentional. Yeah.
I'm working on it.
Well, you are. By the way, your VIP plan, you're going to share with our Inspire Collective members, your touch plan, which is really cool. So thank you for doing that. So if you're an Inspire member, you can go to the portal and get it. If you're not an Inspire member, that's our private mastermind community. You can go to jamesdshaw.com and join. You're a member, Demetria, so thank you for sharing it. You mentioned Pivot earlier, which is the free session, but then Inspire, that's a paid community. You're paying $99 a month and you've been a member for a while. How has that community helped you?
It has helped me tremendously. I mean, just being able to backtrack and go back through videos. And, when you get that idea, it's not like, oh goodness, I have to wait for something to come around or anything like that. You can go back, you can find what has already been recorded on that topic because it's all in there. You can reach out to that agent to talk more about what they shared or what other tips they have learned since they're sharing. So I love that. But I really think that Inspire, I would pay for Inspire every single month just for the 30 challenge. That's it.
Okay, what you're talking about is we do a challenge each quarter, and we introduced a point system that came from our friend Brittany McAllister, who's an Inspire member, and where instead of tracking, hey, I need to make so many calls, or I need to talk to so many people or knock on so many doors, we've created point values for different things, like a call to the database versus door knocking versus an open house versus taking a listing and so on and so forth. And we say the target is to get 30 points. You have really embraced this. How has that 30 points helped with your consistency?
To me, the 30 points, just, I guess it's the excitement of trying to hit those 30 points every day. It is the excitement of knowing that there are other things that I do in my business that I can get points for, and they count. Like, they are, a lot of times I think we get wrapped up with, oh, well, I had, a listing appointment today where I took a listing and I didn't get to do XYZ. Well, a listing is 15 points. You're halfway there. Pick out what other few things you need to make the rest of your points, and then you've had a stellar day, and take that win. So I love that about it as well. And then I love with the points, it's like, oh, well, if something happens and it messes up my block to lead gen, like let's just say I get an appointment or I had something comes up that messes that up, I can go back and I can figure out, oh, well, I didn't get all of my lead follow-ups done today, but let me knock out 10 handwritten notes real quick, and that'll still get me my 5 points. So I love to be able to, trade things out. And then I love also at the end of the week, if I haven't gotten all of my points, then I know what things I can put in to make up any points that I'm missing. So that's kind of how I use it.
It gets me excited to hear that the stuff we teach is working for people. How has your business changed since you've moved your focus from this lead provider to pouring into your database to really going in on your VIPs to getting on the pivot call to getting your 30 points a day that you've learned in Inspire? Like once you've moved from this lead receiving to now you're going to control your day, what's happened to your business?
Well, I have seen it, just really grow, and especially I feel like I have more control over it. It has grown. Last year I did 12, which was exciting. This year, first quarter, I closed 6, 7. Sorry. I have my board up here from Kristen Jungles. So it's 7 first quarter. And that's to me is exciting. That's the first 3 months. I've still got the whole rest of the year. So it's exciting to me to watch the business grow, but more importantly, it's exciting to feel like I have control over it. I am creating systems. I am putting things down. I am deciding what the business is going to look like and what things I want to do to bring new people into my business, to nurture the people that are in my business. And it's not so willy-nilly and all over the place. It's very consistent. There are systems that are followed every day. And this is what happens.
It's like Janet Jackson. You've got control.
Yes.
But the bottom line is that you're making the decisions. The decisions aren't being made for you.
Right.
And I want to pause for a second. I mean, listen, in the average agent does like 4 deals a year. You did 12 last year. That's a house a month as a solo person who's rebuilding the business from scratch, right? Your lead source got taken away. You have to rebuild it from scratch. You sell a house a month. We'll take it all day long.
Yes.
Now you're on pace for 28 deals. And I don't know what you're going to do. You might end up with 50. You might end up with 17. I have no idea. But you're on pace for 28. How many listings have you taken this year?
So far this year, I've taken 3. I've got 2 active right now. I'm going on a listing appointment today, and I have 1 scheduled for next week.
See, so you're really building listing momentum because the business you were working was a very buyer-heavy business before.
Yes.
So
Yes.
you're transitioning to become this listing agent. It's really pretty cool. What have you learned on this journey that you want other people to know?
I think if you have to find a way to make the business yours. I think that's very important because we hear so much and we're all over the place. We're very squirrely. We can't help it. It's just, it comes naturally. And so I think you have to find a way to really hone in on yourself and what's important to you and what you enjoy doing, and then build off of that. And don't keep it in the I just like to do this category. Create a system around it and have a goal for when you're doing it, what you want the outcome to be. And then that falls into as part of your lead gen. And so if you don't like cold calling, then you replace it with this, but you have a system around this, whatever that may be. I think that's probably, to me, one of the most important things is making the business yours and enjoying the way that you are doing it. And I think you'll be much more successful.
Do you think that it's that oftentimes we compare ourselves to other people and really there's no reason to do that?
Oh, yes. I think we do it all the time. I struggle with it now. I have to remind myself it's hanging up in my office. Don't compare your insides to other people's outsides, because we see so many people and we see them doing well. During that time that I had that referral relationship, people thought I was killing it because I had all these transactions. I was making less money. And so they didn't know that. They didn't know what the referral fee was on those people. They didn't know how hard it was dealing with these cold leads. They didn't know any of that because they only saw, oh, Deanie's doing this, Deanie's doing that. And so you just can't compare because you never know the whole story. My mom always said there's 3 sides to every story. This person's side, that person's side, and the truth. And you don't know that. You don't know what that truth looks like. So you can't compare. You have to stay true to you and what makes you happy, what drives you, and what makes you get up every day to get it done.
You'd be showing up in the top 30 report in your office of smashing all these transactions, but there were people not on the report who were making more money than you.
Right.
Because you're making 40%, then you got to pay your cap, you got to pay your bills. I mean, it's a lot. You were
Yes.
netting very little per deal. Your transaction thing was high. By the way, that's how that model would work. You have to have a high number of transactions, a high volume in order to get your income. Now your business goes down, but it doesn't go down. My guess is you're making more money doing 12 deals a year than when you were doing way more than that.
I am. I love it.
Yeah. And your schedule's better.
Cash Money Records.
You got it. This is why I like you. Again, you're a member of Inspire, and some people watching are not, and you're going to give your VIP plan to our Inspire members. But would you mind? Can I just ask you real quick, like a little testimonial? Why should someone consider the Inspire Collective?
I think someone should consider the Inspire Collective, especially if they feel alone. I think that real estate can be a very lonely business. I feel that the vast majority of the people around you either want something or need something from you. And the Inspire Collective is where you can go and you are surrounded by people who pour into you. James, his team, the other agents that are a part of it, it's like home. And you can dig into that group, you can pour value into it, but you can also get so much out of it. If you're thinking about something, if you're considering bringing something into your business, if you're having trouble with something, not only can you find every video on every part of real estate is in there, but the agents that have done those videos along with James are so giving and so ready to help. And so to me, it's like family. Dig in and have fun with it.
No doubt. What's your advice to an agent who feels like that they are struggling and they need to create a little bit of momentum in their world? What would you tell them as we wrap up?
Get some consistency. Real estate is a business and you are running it. And you have to have consistency. You have to know what your day is going to look like. We've been talking about schedules a lot. You have to know what your day is going to look like, what your goals are for that day, and what the action items are to reach those goals. And then put it down, put it on paper, get it in front of yourself so you know exactly what you're doing throughout the day.
I'm proud of you. Thank you for sharing your story with us. Congratulations on what you're creating.
Thank you.